So we all know that giant RC airplanes are expensive, but how much do they actually cost, and is it worth it to build these massive airplanes? To answer these questions, we actually have to go back to the beginning of summer when I started this giant project. What's going on, man?
What is up? How's it going?
The project for today's video is a 100cc Aeroworks yak that I picked up at Ohio's largest swap meet, the Toledo RC Expo. I personally recommend this event as you get the chance to meet hobbyists from all walks of life and find great deals like this giant plane that I bought for a grand total of $200. And to be honest, I'm not really much of an aerobatic flyer, but I just couldn't pass up such a cool looking plane. Alright, so after much deliberation, I have decided to go ahead and start with installing servos. Now, the wings need 2 servos each, the elevator needs 2 servos, and the rudder needs 2 servos as well. We have 8 beautiful titanium gear high-tech servos. So these are the HS7955TG servos. These run 300 to 330 ounces of torque. Now, this is a bit on the lower side as far as torque specs go, but for the kind of flying that I'm going to be doing, I think these servos will be just fine. For those that are new to this, just as I was, what's important to know is that large airplanes need stronger servos to be able to handle more weight and airspeed. This also means they cost a lot more money, each one averaging around $100. However, thanks to some mad negotiation skills on Facebook Marketplace, I was able to get a hold of 8 used servos for $350. We'll have to go into the transmitter, and when we set this up with a dual servo elevator, we'll have to go in and just switch one of the channels around and it should work just fine. At least that's what YouTube tells me. So for now, we're gonna go ahead and set these aside and then pull out the ailerons and start working on those. For reference, I stand at about 6'3" and this is more than half of my height, so unbelievable size of these wings. Okay, I had the wrong extension plugged in there for a second. Made me nervous. Thought I had a bad servo, but I think we're good. I think we have it figured out, so we're gonna plug it in. And this should be ready to rock. I've already fiddled with it with them not connected, so I connected both the servos up. And look at that. Woo! I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this has been a struggle that I've been dealing with for like 3 days now, trying to get this to work. I am not very tech savvy. I had to download software on my computer and update drivers so that I could connect this little programmer, and the programmer wasn't working and I was having trouble with the servos. So we're gonna redo the other wing because I don't think that one was done correctly. And then from there, we're gonna probably work on mounting the motor. But we got this, so making steps up. We're gonna grab a quick measurement so that we can make a template. And that's looking like 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. I chose to use 1-inch thick plywood as my material for the motor mount to add extra weight in the nose of the aircraft while also providing plenty of strength. This was important, as a ton of stress comes from having a massive motor swinging a propeller over 2 feet long. To power this monster project, I once again ran to Facebook and ended up finding a 150cc Rotomax made by Turnigy. My main reason for choosing this motor was actually the price, as I was able to purchase it for $200, and while the Rotomax is meant for much larger planes, it never hurts to have some extra power when you need it. So we got our series harness set up, and if you guys don't know what I mean by series, essentially this plug goes into the giant ESC, and then there are 3 plugs here, and the way that these are wired up is the batteries will act as like one giant super battery. So this will allow me to combine 3 batteries to make a 14 cell setup if I so choose. All right, so a quick couple of updates. We did pick up a 26x10 propeller. This thing is insane. This is an X-Roar. It's for gas motors. I think it'll be just fine for such a huge electric motor. So we got a massive prop, which I'm super excited about, and then some M6-100 all thread, which was actually a little hard to find. This is what we're gonna use to mount the motor through the firewall. And I got all thread because A, I couldn't find any bolts that were long enough, and B, if we want to add an extra bit of stability, maybe some more plywood to the inside of the airframe, I figured it would be nice to have a little bit more distance, a little more reach, so that's why I picked up this all thread. But we're going to go and cut this up and get ready to actually mount the motor, hopefully get the motor mounted today, and we might have to end up bringing the Yak to Flight Fest this year, which is coming up in just a few days. I'm super excited for it, and we will have some content for that. But time is a little tight right now, so we might have to end up working on this and even maybe doing the maiden flight at Flight Fest. So we will see you guys there.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh, yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
making a mess. All right, we're gonna move on to mounting. That just goes to show you right there, that is one of our neighbors. And I didn't have the right parts to get these nuts in here tightened, and he came right over and had exactly what I needed. People here at Flight Fest are just so helpful and kind, and it's been an absolute joy getting to talk and hang out with everyone. So never be afraid to ask people questions, and it's been a great experience. You're good. To power the Monster Rotomax, I chose the Flyer Model 300 amp ESC, which cost around $275. While I personally haven't had any issues with this ESC, I wouldn't recommend buying it as they don't have great reviews and are the cheapest models I found at the time. While other brands are more expensive, they are also more well built and safer. I also wanted to give a huge shout out to Ben from FR Sky for helping set up this entire plane with 2 receivers and a brand new transmitter that was unfamiliar to myself. The 2 receivers and X18 transmitter came out to around $380, and I can't recommend FR Sky enough as both the product and the support team have been amazing to work with. Alright guys, Guys, we are here. This is not the Maiden of the Yak. I've had a few flights on it at this point, but we're gonna go ahead and take it up and get a nice flight in for you guys. We are rocking two 6-cell 10,000 milliamp Huvu batteries, I think is the name of the brand. So we're gonna go ahead and get up in the air. All right. I thought I wanted glasses, I don't. And we'll bring it on down through. Yeah, like I said, guys, I have had a little more time to get comfortable with this airplane. It might look a little far away. In the camera view, it is a big airplane. It needs a lot of real estate. But I have gotten quite a bit more comfortable flying it and got some more practice in as well. So we'll go ahead and kick it into high rates.
High rates.
And that'll give us more of an opportunity to whip it around a little bit. Ooh. Guys, I will be honest, I've been flying for 10 years now, and it makes me nervous flying this airplane every time I do it. But it is a lot of fun. And it doesn't necessarily need to fly fast, which is really nice.
High rates.
We'll bring it around and do a nice big loop for you guys. Landing! All right, guys, we're gonna take it way, way, way out, give ourselves plenty of room, plenty of time, and go ahead and land. This airplane flies on very little throttle, so try and slow it down a little bit better. Yeah, bit of a rough landing, but that's all right. In the end, the total cost of this project, including the batteries, ESC, and FR Sky system, comes out to around $1,700, which just leads one final question: are these projects worth it? And I would say that really depends on who you are. If you're someone that can afford these projects, they are a ton of fun. You will learn a lot about giant scale RC aviation. You'll get to work on these big projects with other people. But that being said, for those who don't have the money for these giant projects, I would say that they're absolutely not worth it at all. While they are a ton of fun, they also come with a price, and there are far better ways to get in this hobby for far cheaper. And you're still gonna have a ton of fun getting to work on smaller projects, cheaper projects, or projects with different materials, and get to meet a ton of new people in the process. And speaking of getting to meet new people, I want to give a special thanks to Mark Bellengrot, Ben from FR Sky, and Alvin Yoder. Without the help of these individuals, this project would not have been able to come to life, and I am so very grateful, so thank you guys. If you enjoyed what you've seen, please consider subscribing, as it's subscribers like you that allow me to work on giant projects like this and continue to pump out content. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you in the next video.